After the Marauders have taken the championship lead up in the A-League of Tour de Endurance Season 4, we move back to the B-League for Event 3, with the first new event these teams have faced in the aiming event. The gap gets smaller and smaller as the rounds go by, and the second duo event that we've ever seen, Quantum Tunnels, hot off the heels of 2 golds. Could they perhaps make it a third in this event? Another event that the B-League competitors see before the A-League of competitors, and here you see the Breakfast Readers showing us how it's done.
So there are 5 rounds in the main aiming event, and the gap obviously gets smaller in each round. You just need to get 1 marble through to advance to the next round. You can see that Breakfast Reader, that 1 marble not making it, but the second one will, so they would advance to the next round. And you can see the gap getting smaller. There are 5 rounds, and if multiple teams make it past the 5th round, we will go to sudden death.
So it's pretty self-explanatory. It's a classic advancing round. Breakfast Readers here are showing us pretty much all the gaps that you can go through. That was the round 4 gap, and here is the round 5 gap. If 2 teams go past here, we go to sudden death. If only 1 makes it, which is more likely, because look how small it is. Breakfast Readers couldn't figure it out. If only 1 gets through, they pretty much win the gold straight away, and ties are broken based off proximity and number of ones to get through, even if they don't matter. So Breakfast Reader is giving us pretty much a perfect example of the aiming there, and now we're going to line up the competitors in seed order. So Crystal Pistols will go first, and the Woodsman will go last. And the crowd getting excited for this one, the first new event properly of the season, about to go underway.
So Crystal Pistols, Lozenge and Paragon representing the team. Their first marble will easily make it through. So the Crystal Pistols, they will advance around to, the second one drifting off to the right side. That first marble, pivotally for them, are going to mean that they do advance. The next one, Moneymakers.
Bill and Finance here. Coming down is Bill too easily there, straight through. These earlier ones should be pretty easy for most of these teams to make, and they just pretty much straight down the middle. If they can do that for all the rounds, Moneymakers are looking pretty solid. That was a very nice aim. And now with Croissant Crew, and a lot of reserves are going to make their first appearances in this event, as there you see Pastry coming down, still in the final as Croissant comes down, and here comes Pastry 2 for the Croissant Crew. That's going to help their tiebreakers in the future.
Yeah, this event, a brand new event and a duo event. Great opportunity for these reserves to be tested out in their first ever appearances. Oh, Silly Slimes, that 1 marble is not going to make it through. Can their other marble make it? Oh, just barely. That was too close for comfort for them. They will go through to the next round, but I imagine they're sweating bullets after that, as Team Mayhem will go on next.
That was very close indeed. Team Mayhem, they also missed the first one. There comes Turmoil on the Rumble 2 here. He comes down and it's pretty easily in the middle. No worries whatsoever for Turmoil, as Disorder does miss, but Team Mayhem still moving on. No misses so far, but they still have 11 runs to go with Navy Seals here. 11 runs to go in this first round. That first one completely misses the board. We're starting to see more misses here, and the second one does still make it, but not quite as centered as they might have hoped.
Yeah, the Navy Seals, another run that looked a bit shaky. They're going to have to sort that out as they go to the next round. Now, Onion Union, first marble, easily makes it through. Yeah, I imagine in this first round, there's got to be at least, at most, like 2 or 3 teams that go out. All of these teams, even if 1 marble misses the mark, the other one is able to pick up the pieces. As we're doing Platoon, we'll go next.
Too easy there, nice and slow by Bayer with the Goon Platoon there, nice and delicate, and same thing from Shoal, they both make it into the middle. You always want to be trying to do that to get past those tiebreakers, or you can just try and get through the rounds as fast as you can. We're halfway through round 1 now as Team Sunrise coming down with Dawn and Beams. First one down is Dawn, and Dawn has missed the board entirely. Beams now has a bit of pressure, and Beams misses as well! And Team Sunrise go out in round 1.
Oh, that is such a shocker for them. Dawn completely missing the mark, not even hitting that red block. Beams is slightly closer, but not close enough. Both drifting off to the left side there. And Team Sunrise is going to get a bottom spot in this event, as Steel Force will go next, and easy as can be, they will get actually both their marbles going very similar towards, slightly to the right side, but in round 1, that is good enough for them to advance. Now, Popsicles in the next round.
Seeing all the relegated teams now. Team Sunrise, of course, if they're the only team to be eliminated in this first round, they will finish in dead last, but if someone else does it, it comes down to proximity. Popsicles have both Popsy and Frosty go through without too many worries. As we move on to the Sweet and Sours, they are currently, I'm pretty sure, the only team who was relegated last season who was close to that relegation zone again, and that is a good start to try and get out of it. 1 makes it through pretty easily. In Tarts, Vinegar does miss, but it's fine. Only round 1. As we move on to now the new teams, what can they do in the new event?
So yeah, Flash Fires. They will go down first. Ooh, they'll miss the mark too far to the right. The second marble will drift slightly to the left, but they will make it. And the reserve pulling through for the team there. And Have to imagine when the second marble goes down, they see the first marble not make it. That ramps up the pressure for them as the quantum tunnels now in the next runner. Ooh, they're gonna miss the mark. Can they get the second one? They will not. Quantum tunnels after 2 gold medals in a row. They're gonna be knocked out here in the first round.
That is quite the shock. Quantum Tunnels have been rated very highly since those 2 golds, and to go out so early, well, that no one would have seen that coming. Rosemary's now up on the plate, but I'm still quite shocked at the Quantum Tunnels' very early elimination. A rocket of the first one for the Rosemary's, and the second one just nudges off the block, but getting in the center, that still does count. But Quantum Tunnels, we have 2 eliminated in the first round. I was expecting less than that, to be honest, as the Woodsman. Final round before we start moving on to the closer round, to round 2.
Ooh. And the first Woodsman misses the mark. Can the second one get it? Yes, they will. And they need advancement here with the bottom spot here. They're already dead last in the standings. It would be very rough for them. But they will move on to the next round. There you can see the tiebreaker is based on if you get 2 marbles or 1 marble across the line into the rounds. So even if you only need 1, getting 2 marbles can help you in the future. So in the round 2, we'll start it off with the Crystal Pistols. Once again, I think we'll go in the same order. And they will easily make it in their first marble and their second marble.
You can see that gap is slightly smaller, but it is still pretty wide for these teams to make. Crystal Pistols made that very easily. They made that look easy for anyone. Moneymakers now with Bill and Notes. Oh, a slow down the thing for Bill. Bill, what does Notes do? Notes gets through pretty easily though. So the reserve coming in clutch for the Moneymakers, and we've still got 2 pretty easy advances in the first 2 rounds of round 2. Now the Croissant crew.
Croissant and Pastry, another captain and reserve lineup, and they will miss the mark with the first marble. Can they get it with the second? And they will not even close. So the Croissant crew, they are going to go out in round 2. Not a bottom spot because we did have some eliminations back in round 1, but still, I'd have to imagine this will be bottom half.
Oh, for sure. I don't think we'll see 6 more eliminations in this round for Croissant crew to squeak into the top half. So these Slimes easily make it in there. Slow and calculated from Slimy. And Gooey pretty much just says, alright, he's made it. I don't really need to do much here. Save the energy for the later rounds and the effort for the later rounds, as they're going to get much more difficult as they go along. Team Mayhem now. And it looks like a very easy run for the Captain Disorder.
And Turmoil, what will they do? They will also make it. It's very interesting to see if the second marble goes and the first marble already made. Will they conserve energy or will they use it as a practice for the next few rounds? Turmoil doing well there to get through as the Navy SEALs with Savo and Pierre next. And easy as can be, straight down the middle for their first marble. The second one misses the mark, and I have to imagine conserving energy as well. Navy SEALs are going on to the next round.
Only 1 failure so far in the form of the Croissant crew. We're almost halfway. We are in fact halfway through this round. There's only 14 in this one. Onion Union with Calcott. Oh, that was just too easy. I was going to say Calcott and Vidalia, but Calcott beat me to it, and Vidalia does miss the mark. But again, saving that energy because there is a harsh difficulty spike between rounds 3 and 4 in particular. We're going to see a lot of eliminations there as the Goon Platoon, Bayo and Shoal coming down now.
And they will pretty easily make it through. Not quite down the center, but close to it. And Shoal also manages to do it. Bayo and Shoal, easy as can be, are going to move on.
All these teams looking pretty good after that mistake by the Croissant crew. Steel Force, Alloy and Iron. Straight down the middle for Alloy, no problems at all. These teams practicing perhaps for the closer rounds where the gap gets really small. A lot of these we would see, I reckon, would actually make that gap. So we might see several get past that round 5, and we might even especially see sudden death come into play as Popsicles come down now with Popsy, who completely misses the mark. Frosty now has to try and make it, or else Popsicles will go out early, and they do get in, but that was a bit too close for comfort.
Oh, for sure, Popsicles, they will advance, but just barely, compared to many of these teams that have sailed through this round pretty easily. I'd have to imagine, after the first round, we saw many marbles drift off to either side. After one round, they've had good practice and doing well in the second. Sweet and Sours, they will get it with their captain. Reserve Vinegar doesn't make it, but doesn't matter, they are going on to the next round. And the Flash Fires in the next one, we'll see what they can do.
Oh, a miss from the first Flash Fires member. Blaze can't quite make it. What can the reserve ally do? It's another miss! We have seen another miss in round 2. Flash Fires out in round 2. And that's going to be another really poor finish for the Flash Fires. 2 in a row after a bronze in the first event. Oh dear, not looking great for the Flash Fires in their debut Tour de Endurance proper season as the Rosemary's coming down following that up, and that was just too easy. Rosemary's looking very good in the first 2 rounds. Second marble also pretty much bang on down the middle.
The Rosemary's from the Bourne Network's Marble Championship. This event is adapted from that competition, so I have to imagine helping them a bit in this event. Woodsman, ooh, they will miss the mark with their captain. What can Spruce do? Can they get through that block? And they will not! Just barely, pretty much going exactly on the trajectory as Oak did. And Woodsman is going to be another poor event for them, going out in round 2.
Alright, we just have, I believe, 11 teams left. The bottom 5 is decided. Croissant Crew do get 12th with 2 in round 1, and Flashfires and Woodsman are split apart by how close they were to missing their run. And now we move on to round 3. You can see that gap is a little bit more dicey now. You might start to see a little bit more mistakes from these competitors nowadays. It's actually a smaller gap. Crystal Pistols, though, oh, that was actually much closer than I thought. Both Lozenge there just sneaks in off the gap, and Paragon almost did end up missing, but almost made it. So that was close from the opening round of round 3. And Moneymakers or Bills completely missed. What can Notes do? Trying to save the team, and they have made it, but only just.
Once again, the reserve pulls through for the team. Moneymakers calculating that enough. You want to have a bit of a gap between your two models. It can really throw you off if you don't. And this first Silly Slime goes way off to the right side. Kangoo, the reserve, pull through once again. Oh, they're not going to. Closer to the center, but it's not going to be good enough. Silly Slimes will be out in round 3.
This is a round where I'd say going out is not the most surprising thing. You can see that gap has gotten smaller than, you could only probably fit 4 marbles in there, and that is a difficult ramp to go down as Team Mayhem coming down now. Disorder, oh, just missed! I thought he was going to make it from my angle, and he goes in the way of Turmoil, and that throws him off. Team Mayhem are out, and that was a really shambolic way to go out.
Team Mayhem getting in the way. You can see just curling back, not aware that the other marble is going to go down. I think that must have thrown them off for sure. There was no contact there. Trying to avoid their teammate, I think. It results in getting out. Navy Seals now. Much cleaner run for them. Easy as can be. The second one will just barely miss, but it does not matter. They are going on to round number 4.
Yeah, I'm still quite shocked by that Team Mayhem. You don't want to be going backwards to try and knock a teammate out of the way. That is always a threat in this event. On a Union now, Calcott, they've been very good so far, has Calcott, and Vidalia is going to... That's one of the biggest misses we've seen all day, but Calcott makes it for the team look easy for the... does Calcott there. And Lagoon Platoon, Bayo and Shoal now. They're starting to wheel down the field a little bit more as this event goes along. We'll have very few left going into round 5.
And they will make it with their captain pretty easily. The second model isn't able to quite to get through, but Lagoon Platoon are going to move on as Steel Force in the next round will go.
Alright, Alloy comes down first and does make it look easy, just like that. Iron does miss, but again, just perhaps just for saving the energy, because around the steep, there's a steep increase between round 3 and round 4. Round 4 is going to be a big loss for some of these teams. Popsicles now, with Popsy coming down first. It is a... Oh, that was really close. Come back in front of the board. He's blocking Frosty's way, and the Popsicles are gonna... Oh my goodness. 2 extremely close calls, but they are out in round 3.
It's absolutely shambolic for the Popsicles, curling back right into the way of their teammate. And I think they're going to be kicking themselves over that one. Missing the mark so close, and just completely... It's such a messy run for them. Sweet and Sours, oh, just barely once again. They do manage to hold center there. Will the second marble get through? They will not. That's a very close call for the Sweet and Sours. Very unfortunate to not be moving on here.
We've seen several really close calls in this round in particular. You can see why this round is starting to get a little bit dicey. Rosemary's, this is actually the last run of the round, as those after them have already gone, and another great run. The Bourne Network experience from the Rosemary's is coming in very well here. Rosemary's have looked, Leven especially has looked incredibly strong in the aiming event, and now we have the bottom 9 locked in. Team Mayhem sneak into a top half position with that round 2 double compared to Popsicle's round 1 double, and now we move on to round 4. Look at that gap. That is, as I've said, much smaller, and Crystal Pistols are first to face it.
Crystals will miss the mark with their first. What can the second marble do? Paragon, and they will also miss the mark on the opposite side. Crystal Pistols are going to be knocked out here, but they will still get a top 7 finish. Pretty decent for a team of that history. But yeah, I'd have to imagine this round is where competitors will really get whittled down. Maybe we'll have our podium marbles, or podium teams after this one. Moneymakers, their captain will not, their first marble will not get there.
And Notes misses as well. So Moneymakers and Crystal Pistols, the first 2 runs of round 4 have already missed a mark. That is a bit daunting for the 5 teams following them. Navy Seals through the Rosemary's, but it's never, I wouldn't say, you never know with this sport. Navy Seals coming down now. Salvo first to go, and he does miss. Completely misses the board, in fact. Pia has to come and clutch, and he does make it! We have our first maker through to round 5. Navy Seals may have just staked their claim for a podium.
Oh, for sure, I'd have to imagine. Navy SEALs are definitely going to be in contention for a podium as Calcott will go through once again. That's such a good run for them. They've showed brilliant performance, and so does the second marble as well, both going straight down the center. That would have been enough for both of them to make it through round 5. As Lagoon Platoon goes next, we'll see what they can do. First marble really missing the mark. What can Shoal do?
Oh, Shoal's made it! We've got 3 out of the 5 left into round 5. Are these going to be our podium finishes? Steel Force and Rosemary's are still yet to run. What can these last 2 do? They've got seen 3 already make it past round 4. Alloy is going to come down first for Steel Force, and they also make it! I was wrong with Navy SEALs. We've got 4 at least into the next round.
That means our podium finishers are not determined yet. At least 4 teams from the Rosemarys, with how they've performed thus far, it looks like they will also advance. But can they do it in this 4th round? Yes, they will, with even managing to do it, not quite straight down the center, but good enough for them to go on to the 5th round. 5 teams left in the 5th round, and only 3 can make the podium. Crystal Pistols will get 6th, Moneymaker 7th, but those were the only ones, surprisingly, to get knocked out in round 4.
5 left coming into round 5, and look at how small that gap is. This might be where you stake your claim for that gold medal. We're going to see, mostly, I would assume, everyone go out here. Both Navy SEALs come down together, and it is not the right strategy, and they both swerve off to far sides, and Navy SEALs go out, but it is a strong top 5 finish, no matter what, for any of these teams here. They will finish top 5. Union Union coming down next. Calcott's going to be going first as per usual, and Calcott sinks it! Calcott is in, and Union Union may have just staked their claim for gold.
Calcott, potentially the MVP of this event. Fantastic from them, going straight down the center, such consistency across all of the rounds for that marble. And they are sticking claim for the gold for sure. Lagoon Platoon, we'll see what they can do as well. First marble misses the mark completely. What can Shoal do? They're going to be close, but they're not going to get there. Lagoon Platoon are knocked out. And that means Union Union, I think, are guaranteed a podium.
Yeah, that is a very good one. Both Navy SEALs and Lagoon Platoon going out. Union Union connect no less than bronze. Steel Force and Rosemary's are the only 2 that can knock them out. Alloy is going to come down first for Steel Force, and it's well off the mark. Iron now has a lot of pressure to try and get through here, and goes in the exact same direction. Steel Force completely missing the mark there, and now it's just on the Rosemary's. Will Rosemary's take Union Union to sudden death, or will Union Union lock in a gold medal? It remains to be lined up right now.
This could be it for the Union Union, but anyone can beat them. It is the Rosemary's based on what we've seen. But they were close with their first marble. They're not going to get there. What can Thine do? Oh! And they will get it! The reserve pulling through, going straight down the center. And we're going to sudden death. Union Union and the Rosemary's are top 2 in this event, but in what order?
All it remains to be seen. Lagoon Platoon slot into 3rd place with a very close run on the board, and they will get the bronze medal in this event, but in terms of the gold there, you see they have to actually aim for the gap now. The first marble to make it into one of these gaps will win it for their team. Calcott comes down first. That was surprisingly close for the Union Union, and here comes Vidalia trying to win it, and it's not quite there. Rosemary is slotted up. It's very quick on sudden death here.
So Union Union are not knocked out yet. If the Rosemary's don't make it, we will continue to go, and they won't. Oh, the second marble managing to go left, but they're going to go too far to the left, so we'll have the Union Union slotting back in once again.
Slightly closer to the center this time. Calcott still goes dead down the middle and can't quite get there. Vidalia, the complete wrong direction, and now it's back in the Rosemary's court. If Union Union make it, the Rosemary's have a chance to make it as well and keep the battle going. But Rosemary's could end it here with Thyme if they can get it down the middle. And oh, that was very close. Close to the center yet again. The tension's rising, getting unbearable now. Who's going to get in there first? Calcott is well off the mark. What can Vidalia do?
They're coming down now. They're going to be closer, but just barely not close enough. Both going off to the left side as the Rosemary's now have a chance to steal the deal here. Leven will not be able to do it. What can Thyme do? Can they get through that gap? They're going to do it! Thyme will manage to do it, and the Rosemary's will capture gold in aiming.
That was unbelievable. The Bourne Network experience coming through for the Rosemary's. Leven wins it for the team, and Thyme and Leven both had a fantastic one there through the aiming event. Rosemary's well done, already on the Tour de Endurance podium in just 3 events. Union Union and Lagoon Platoon, well fought though, will round out the podium. After that, Rosemary's vault up 2 spots into second place. So in between, despite a bronze fall down to third, it's starting to get contested at the front with Quantum Tunnel's bad finish, but down below, Woodsman, Croissant Crew, and other teams alike are still struggling. But we go back to the A-League for the next event, the final elimination race.